The incumbent Senator David Perdue from Georgia. Senator, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Sean.
All right, the president was down there this weekend. The vice president's been down. He's coming again. How effective are their visits and their message to getting out the base?
Well, the vice president was here last Friday. The president, as you said on that clip, came in last Saturday night, and they are both fantastic. The president really jazzed the crowd up and really pointed out several things in his speech that night. He really called out all of his supporters, though, to remember the fight's not over.
Oh, yeah.
Regardless of what happened and what people think about November 3rd, they have a continuing responsibility to make sure that we get back out on January the 5th and get our Republican vote out to deny the Democrats control of the United States Senate. This is the last line of defense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, by all accounts, and I'm still amazed. I mean, let me ask you two questions. Why is this race, both of them, because it's not just, I mean, you've got Senator Loeffler and yourself. Why are they close? And just explain why you didn't want to debate last night. What's the issue with Jon Ossoff?
Well, first of all, let's talk about polling.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't seen many polls be anywhere near correct in this cycle or in my first cycle. They had me down 8 and 10 points in 2014. We won by over 8 points. They had Trump down in Georgia by 5 and 16. He won by 5. I think the only poll that matters, Sean, is the November election. Normally in the runoffs, you have a drop off in terms of participation, but we have an election. The Democrats didn't get above 47.5% in that general election, so we beat them very soundly. What we have to do, I missed the runoff by a few thousand votes. We have the 50+1 rule here in Georgia, and we missed that by a few thousand votes. Regarding the debate, we've already debated the issues. We did that during the general election. In the runoff, it's all about turnoff. Now, the other thing is we witnessed last night something I didn't think we'd ever see, and that is a debate participant lose a debate with himself. I mean, the more he talked, the more we could see he had no preparation. I mean, he wanted, if you look at what he was talking about, he had no idea what to do with COVID. He wants total blanket amnesty. He wants a total lockdown. But when it came to COVID, they asked him a very simple question. What would you do for the remaining or for the need right now with COVID? He says, well, we don't want to get bogged down in the details. Are you kidding me? I mean, we've already brought $47 billion to Georgia, saved 1.5 million jobs, and the job's not done. But to say we don't want to get bogged down in details. So, I think we proved our point last night by letting this guy talk. So I'm very happy right now to focus on getting out and talking to people. That's what we're doing, 125 stop tour. It's the Save America tour right here in Georgia. Kelly Loeffler and I are both doing it. We have all these people coming in to help us, Sean, but we're going around taking our message to the people.
So I get a lot of emails at my website when I told them, that you were coming on, and people said, okay, well, the first election was fraudulent on November 3rd. They took it from Trump. I mean, I'm getting all this. And then they'll say, why do I even bother voting until the first part is fixed? So tell me right now, what is your message to Georgians that say, why bother? They stole the first one. They're going to steal the second one.
Well, two messages. One, in my race, even with all the potential shenanigans that were going on, we still beat the Democrats. And if we come out and we can do that again, that's point number one. But point number two, rest assured that my camp is doing everything we can to make sure that whatever the issues were in November will not be there in January. The insurance we have, if you sit back and say, well, I'm mad because it didn't happen the way we wanted it to in November, what you're doing, and not voting in January, what you're doing is you're giving the majority of the Senate to the Democrats. And this is the problem, Sean. You've talked about it on this show. Once we lose that majority, it's hard to ever get it back with what Chuck Schumer is talking about doing.
So I could not agree with you more. It literally keeps me up thinking about him up. I had a conversation with the president a week ago where, I said, all of the work that you've done, they'll pack the court. They will make D.C. a state and add 2 Democratic senators. How much do you think that message resonates when you're out there making all of these stops? Do people say, I want to talk about David Perdue versus Jon Ossoff or Kelly Loeffler versus Raphael Warnock? Or do they get that, like, hey, a vote for Jon Ossoff is a vote for Chuck Schumer? Do they get that message, and does it resonate?
It's resonating. Once we get over the hurt feelings about the presidential election in Georgia in November, people begin to realize that the majority of this Senate is very critical. It's on the line here in Georgia. And what is at stake is what our job is to get out and communicate. And the fact that what Schumer is saying, his own words, are the most damning thing that we have on them. Take Georgia and change America. AOC echoed the same thing a couple of days later and said, we need those 2 seats in Georgia because we don't want to negotiate. We want the Green New Deal without compromise. When people hear that, they chill up and they realize what's at stake here. So we're out there right now making sure that they understand how important it is that we get these votes back out in January.
Do you think that the attacks, the Republican on Republican, the red on red, is depressing turnout or not helping? Because I'm not kidding. I get half of the emails that I get about Georgia are, this guy did this or this person didn't do enough. I mean, look, I'm a team player. If we don't win, your point is exactly right. AOC and Chuck Schumer get the steering wheel and they start driving, and everything that President Trump has done over 4 years gets undone, one piece by one piece. And so, it concerns me that people are, attacking each other on the right.
Sean, I'll use President Trump's own words. And when he first became a candidate, there were only 2 U.S. senators that were supporting him in early 2016, and I'm one of those. And I've been fighting with Donald Trump once he got elected to get his agenda implemented, and we did that for the most part. And look at the results; they were astounding. And now we're fighting with him to get a fair accounting of the vote in November. And just the other night, Saturday night, he highlighted what you're talking about right now, is that even some of his friends are saying, Donald Trump got a bad deal, therefore you should boycott and not come out of it. And even Donald Trump said, in order to protect what Trump has accomplished in the last 4 years and to deny the Democrats total control, we have to get back out and vote. Look, all of the things that we did with President Trump's agenda that created this economic renaissance, regulatory work, the tax work, the energy work, we're energy independent now because of Donald Trump. Yep. We have a banking bill that protected these community banks that helped us get this PPP money out. If we lose these 2 seats, all of that will be reversed. I can promise you that.
Well, I'll tell you, to your point about being one of 2, I remember at Trump Tower during the campaign in 2016, it was David Perdue that was up there saying, what else can I do to help, when it wasn't popular. So I just think people in Georgia need to know that. David Perdue wasn't, there when it was just popular. David Perdue was there when no one else would come up and no one else was reaching a hand out. So I think voters in Georgia need to know that Senator David Perdue has been there since the beginning, and we need to keep him there to continue to fight. Senator, I hope that we can check in back with you soon. Best of luck on the campaign trail and stay safe.
God bless you, Sean. Thank you.